Hello everyone. Today I'm going to present you the functionality that we have implemented in our project. Firstly, we'll start by running the web server locally with the Java Assist agent. As you can see on the terminal on the right, on the terminal on the left, those are some of the prints that we have in our code dumper, which is a class we have above our iCount class. The iCount class is basically a class where we instrument both the ray tracer and the image processing. What we are doing on the right, we're basically sending some requests, in this case for image processing, to our web server to prove that we have it working, and then we can show the instrumented values. Regarding the instrumentation itself of each of those functions, image processing and ray tracing, to instrument the image processing, what we basically do is we count the number of instructions that takes for each image segment, meaning that if an image has a dimension of 10 by 10 and we have to compute 300 instructions, 10 by 10, a 10 by 10 image has an area of 100. That means we have 3 instructions by unit of area of the image. When it comes to the ray tracing, we have a certain input to the read scene, that is in terms of bytes, and we count the number of instructions by unit of input size. If we have, let's say, 3 bytes and we have, let's say, 300 instructions, it's 100 instructions per byte. As you can see on the terminal on the left right now, we're just doing the same thing we did for the request regarding image processing. Now we're doing a request for ray tracing. And one thing that we've noticed, and that is not currently working and we'll see afterwards, is that even though the image processing and the ray tracing are working, since we have the output files presented right now, when we go to the file where we are writing the values associated with the metrics associated with the instrumentation that we have, initially we could present the values both for the instrumentation of image processing requests, both in enhance and blur, and we could present the instrumentation of the ray tracing requests. But as you're gonna see in a little bit, due to the development of our project, and since we didn't have time to change that, right now we can only see in the output file that we have for the instrumentation metrics, we can only see the instrumentation for image processing and not the values of the instrumentation for ray tracing. That's what is being done right now. We have it in a temporary file, and as you can see on the estimations.txt, image processing followed with a Hashcode that was created from the input file, and then the number of instructions by unit of area of the image, which is on the order of 10 minus 4. Now, since we didn't implement the DynamoDB and we wanted only to have our project as functional as possible, we're gonna run it locally, the autoscaler locally, because once again we don't have the DynamoDB, we don't have the Lambda, and the other thing is, because we were finding some problems on AWS, we couldn't then use the scripts that we had created to launch instances and so on, even though those scripts are working. As you can see on the screen on the right, this is the autoscaler running locally, and now my colleague is gonna open on the browser so you can see what is happening. We're only doing this locally once again because we had some problems on AWS, namely